And I'm just still trying to figure it out. Like, why so much? Why so much? Like in all the cities in America, Dolton has so much going on and nobody's perfect. But Lord, wait a minute. So the chief is on bankruptcy fraud charges and the chief just got fired. So Mayor Tiffany Henyard fired the police chief. He just got indicted for bankruptcy charges. Let's listen and see what happened.
Dolton's acting police chief just appeared before a federal judge to face bankruptcy, fraud, and perjury charges.
It's the latest chapter in what's become an ongoing saga involving the village of Dolton. Our Andrew Ramos was in court and joins us live with what happened. Andrew.
That's right, Joe and Erica. That arraignment wrapped up just moments ago where acting police chief of Dolton, Louis Lacey, pleaded not guilty to all the charges. Now, as part of pre-trial release conditions, a judge ordered him to turn in all his firearms as well as his FOID card. Now,
all right, so there's another report out there. Stuff just happening so fast where they wouldn't let him into the police department earlier. I think that was earlier today or yesterday. Like, this is developing pretty fast. And then he threatened insubordination. I'm gonna see if I can get a hold of it to show you guys, but this is wild. It is so wild, and that's the one who be kicking the people out of the meeting and threatening to kick people out the meetings and all that. But let me finish. Let's let it finish.
In court, federal prosecutors laid out a 9-count indictment against the Dolton official, claiming he devised a scheme to defraud by way of filing for bankruptcy in an effort to hide assets and income to avoid paying over $40,000 in a lawsuit settlement that goes back nearly a decade. Now, prosecutors say as part of this scheme, Lacey repeatedly lied about monthly income, where he concealed multiple bank accounts that he controlled, also lying about being separated from his wife, saying that he lived alone, preventing creditors to go after her. Now, Lacey has been charged with 5 counts of bankruptcy fraud, 2 counts of making false statements in a bankruptcy case, and 2 counts of perjury. Now, the federal indictment happens in the shadow of ongoing turmoil in the village of Dolton, where Mayor Tiffany Henyard is currently under investigation for misuse of village funds. A recent report released by former Chicago mayor.
This is the thing too. This is one of the officers that's not in the union that got like over $200,000 in overtime from the city of Dolton too. So he's saying he don't make a certain amount of money, but he's making a whole lot more money than most people. So I mean, what is it in? You know what I'm saying? They just making cities and government look crazy with this kind of stuff.
Special investigator Lori Lightfoot showed that the village had a staggering $3.5 million in debt. The report also highlighted how some city employees racked up overtime, specifically Lacey, who received almost $216,000 in OT since 2022. Now, despite Dolton trustees saying that Lacey is currently on unpaid administrative leave, his attorney maintains that his client is still on the payroll and actively employed, also suggesting that this indictment is a witch hunt.
Suddenly now that Lightfoot came out with this report, Mr. McGrath is ordering people not to give Mr. Lacey his what is owed to him. It's completely illegal.
Now, if convicted, Lacey could face up to 5 years in federal prison for each count. He's back in court on October 1st. Reporting live outside Dirksen Federal Court, Andrew Ramos, CBS News, Chicago.
Thanks, Andrew. Right now at 6.
See, and that's the thing, man. Don't nobody want to see see him go to jail. I mean, he still is a police officer. You know, he served the people. At least that's what his job was, to serve the people. Or job is to serve the people. We don't really want to see him go to jail. But at the same time, when you're in a position of influence like a police officer, you have a lot more wiggle room to do stuff you ain't supposed to be doing. So the bar is a lot higher. For Mayor Tiffany Henyard, look at the coincidences with this kind of stuff. You don't know how deep it goes when you got a crew of people. Look at what your police chief is doing. Look at what your city administrator is doing. Look at what the aldermen who are in your pocket are doing, or the trustees that's in your pocket are doing. You see a trend of inappropriate behavior. Let me be clear. I think people who look for perfection in politicians are wrong, but I think looking for transparency is right. Looking for them to do the right things in reasonable situations, or in any situation. Okay, let me rephrase that because that just sounds crazy. Looking for them to do the right things in any situation is important. But within reason, because they are human. They gonna make some mistakes. I mean, I'm cool with it. That's what it is. That if you expect them more than that, you're just gonna be disappointed all the time. But when you have a choice of just doing blatantly right and wrong, or going the right way or the left way or whatever, you're supposed to go the right way. That's what the people elect you for. And if you're putting people in position, for example, Mayor Henyard gets to nominate different people. She gets to appoint people. She gets to appoint her police chief. She gets to appoint her city administrator. She gets to appoint her treasurer, and so on. When she appoints these people, how these people act is a direct reflection of her too. So even if she was doing everything perfect, which we know she's not, when these people do stuff like this, it make her look crazy, because it's like, look at the kind of people you done hired. You know, now granted, this technically don't have much to do with his job per se, as far as him doing corrupt things for the city of Dolton. But what this does directly lend to is his character. It makes people think, if this is the kind of stuff that you do in your own personal life and your own personal business, and you happen to work for the village of Dolton, this is how you handling stuff. So you handling police matters this way, you handling matters for Mayor Henyard this way. It makes you look crazy. It makes her look crazy. Anyway, stay unlikely, be unstoppable, and I'm going to catch you on the next one, and there's more to come. All right.